Hi parents, Chiwing here. Most of you know my better half, Pastor Lee. I'm the lesser half, and I'm okay with that because in God's economy, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Well, in this video, second video of godly parenting versus good parenting, we are going to be touching on God-centered hopes. God-centered hopes. Have you ever gotten worked up, anxious, or even lose temper over your child's poor results from school? Why is it that when they show us their papers, the first thing that we look for are the mistakes? Instead of the 90% that's correct, we look at the 10% that is wrong. Instead of praising them for what they've done well, we lecture and nag at them for where we felt that they have fallen short and could have done better. Why? What's more compounding is when our kids wake up late for church, it's no big deal. But when our kids wake up late for school, we are breathing fire down their neck. Why? Well, these are telltale signs that our hope for our children is based on their education instead of being on the Lord. Let me propose to you today, as taught in the Bible, that it is far better to parent our children to center their hopes on God rather than on the things of the world such as education, finances, and so forth. Good parenting stressed the importance of achieving high grades in studies. Godly parenting, on the other hand, stressed the importance of practicing biblical value in studies. For example, diligence, responsibility, and giving the Lord their best even in their studies. One of the most impactful parenting moments I had from my late mom was one day when I was about 10 years old in the car with my sister. We were driving along and my mom casually pointed out to the town council sweeper, the road sweeper, and told us, if you've studied your best, if you've worked your hardest, and yet you cannot do well and you only become a road sweeper for life, that's alright, as long as you've tried your best and as long as you are honest. Unbeknownst to my mother at that time, who was not yet a Christian, she was actually espousing biblical parenting, godly parenting. While many of my friends got a beating from their parents for not getting the marks that their parents want them to get, my mom never scolded or punished me for getting poor marks. She did scold, she did punish me many a times, but for other matters, when I was lazy, when I was irresponsible, when I did not give my best in my studies. But not once did she punish me for getting poor grades. And that is biblical value, stressing on what is good, what is godly, instead of just the marks that we want. Good parenting instill in their children the belief that the road to a successful life is having a solid education. Godly parenting, on the other hand, instills the belief that the road to a successful life is having a solid relationship with Jesus Christ. They're fundamentally very different. Good parenting disciplines the child when he or she doesn't meet our expectations, thus implying to the child that their hope is in our hands. What we think, what we say, what we expect of them is the best thing for their lives. But godly parenting disciplines the child when he or she doesn't meet God's expectations, not our expectations, God's expectations, thus implying to the child that their hope should and only be in God. Good parenting provides the best of everything that our child needs or wants, especially finances. And that's great, that's wonderful. But godly parenting takes it a step further. Godly parenting trusts God to help you provide the best that God has for your child. And God definitely has far better things for your child than you or I as parents can ever provide. This is not to say that education or finances is not important. No, they are important. They are necessary for the well-being of our children. But the measurement of our parenting is not the attainment of this. The measurement of our parenting is practicing and modeling God-centered hopes, both for ourselves and for our children. Psalm 127 verse 1 says, "Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the guards stand watch in vain. So the parenting tip for this week is center your hopes for your children on God. Center your hopes for your children on God. Take this week to reflect on the questions in the description box below. Work through them prayerfully. Let your children experience a new you, not just a good parent, better than that, a godly parent, one whose hope is centered upon the Lord Jesus Christ. God bless you, parents.